Blockbuster trades are what the NBA is all about. These are the trades that can make or break a team's future. So let's dive right in, starting with something that rocked the league, the time when Kawhi Leonard got traded.
Breaking news, Kawhi Leonard has been traded by the Spurs to the Toronto Raptors for DeMar DeRozan.
It was the summer of 2018. The Spurs were having an okay-ish season when they suddenly traded Kawhi Leonard to the Toronto Raptors. The trade was a huge shock for everyone, because a player like Leonard seemed destined to join a team like the Clippers or the Lakers, but it wouldn't be the NBA without a sprinkle of unpredictability. The Spurs traded him for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a future first-round pick in the 2019 draft. When the Spurs thought they were doing good business, it was actually the opposite. Leonard went to the Raptors and surpassed all expectations, which is saying something for a guy who everyone knew was destined for greatness.
Game here. Lillard gets switched on to him. Kawhi for the win. Oh, what a roll! Kawhi! Clutch! No timeout.
He bagged a championship in his first and only season with the team, and that's not even the most special thing about this. What's even better is the way he played that season. He was an absolute beast in the regular season. He averaged 26.6 points and 7.3 rebounds. Those were his career highest numbers. He played 60 games that season and shined in each and every one of them. The Raptors defeated the Golden State Warriors in the finals to win their first ever championship.
Leonard for three. Bang! Raptors lead. Leonard drives, pulls up, banks it home.
Kawhi was always there when his team needed him the most. He was the missing piece the Raptors needed to bag a championship. He joined a team that always struggled to get past the second round and made them the champions. One player changed the dynamics of the whole league. Who would have thought that the Raptors could win the championship? That's right, nobody. Definitely not the Spurs, or else they would have just handed them Leonard. Who knows what could have happened if they kept him? Maybe the Spurs would have been champions that year. Can't say for sure though. But since we're on the topic of what ifs, remember when Chris Paul almost went to the Lakers?
Here's North Carolina currently on the floor. Mikal Bridges. Tricks. Chris Paul with the midi, got it.
This one might not have changed the league in the same way as the others, but it still created a what-if situation in the league. See, Paul was on the verge of joining the Lakers, but the NBA came in and stopped it. Why? Because New Orleans was owned by the league itself at the time, so the commissioner used his power and stopped the deal. You don't want to let go of a player like Paul. But the NBA then allowed the Clippers to sign Paul because they were letting go of some of the best assets for the man. The Clippers traded Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman, Al Farouk, and a first-round pick to land Chris Paul. A player like Chris Paul was worth it all, and it made sense for the league.
This crowd, which is one of the best in the NBA, has been pretty quiet so far. Paul leaning and
It's not in the lane.
Here's Chris Paul getting the handle.
Paul donned the Clippers red, white, and blue for 6 seasons. He teamed up with players like Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. CP3's magic was surely working because the Clippers, man, they were a whole other team with him on board. They were regularly making it to the playoffs and played some serious basketball. But all good things must come to an end, and sadly for the Clippers, they did. The dynamic trio of Griffin, Paul, and Jordan left the team. But people still ask questions about why the league stopped the Lakers from signing Paul, only to let him go at the end of the Clippers. Was it planned? Who knows? But what I do know is that the next trade resulted in one of the best partnerships in NBA history. Of course, I'm talking about Scottie Pippen's move to the Bulls. Like, I'm not even kidding. This trade changed the league for years to come. Chicago wanted Pippen in the 1987 draft, but they failed to get their hands on him. They had the 9th pick while the Supersonics had the 5th pick, so the Bulls had to take matters into their own hands. What do? They made the Supersonics an offer they couldn't refuse. Chicago traded Olden Polynice and some future draft picks in exchange for Pippen. Obviously, Pippen's willingness to go to the Bulls also played a huge part in that deal. I mean, who wouldn't want to play with Michael Jordan?
In the season that Michael stepped away from the game, he was 22-9-5. He was 3rd in the MVP voting. He was first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense, and he was the All-Star Game MVP.
And well, the rest was history. In fact, it was utter madness. MJ and Pippen owned the league back then. Scottie's addition to the roster worked like a charm. He went on to win 6 championships with the Bulls. I highly doubt that without Pippen, the Bulls would have reached the same heights as they did with him on the court. And sure, Scottie did go on to play for other teams in his career, but his time with the Bulls was magical. Like they literally retired his jersey out of respect. That's what you call impact. If this trade never happened, we would have missed out on a lot. Speaking of missing out, can you imagine how many championships the Lakers would have missed out on if Kobe wasn't traded to them?
I like it. World peace for everyone. Here he comes, Bryant with Beckman defending. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding?
Like, you just can't talk about the trades that changed the NBA without mentioning this one. See, Bryant was traded by the Charlotte Hornets in the 1996 draft. But the strange thing is that he never actually played for them. The Hornets decided to trade him in a draft day trade to the Lakers. But he wasn't the only player signed by the Lakers that season. See, there's this guy called Shaquille O'Neal, who I'm sure you're all familiar with. They signed him too. And LA was never the same again. Sure, Kobe's first season didn't get off to a good start. He mostly came off the bench. But you could never keep someone like Bryant quiet for long. He unleashed himself as time passed, and the rest is history. He literally took the NBA by storm.
Tell you what, fundamental footwork.
Won 5 NBA titles with the Lakers, 1 MVP, and 2 Finals MVP awards. Actually insane if you think about it. Like, who could have imagined that a last-minute draft day trade could give birth to one of the NBA's biggest dynasties? No one. Absolutely no one. It's probably one of the best trades the Lakers ever got. Well, except for Kareem's move to the Bucks. The Big A was doing wonders with Milwaukee.
The hook shot isn't really popular in today's game because the players coming up, they've watched film of Dr. J and Michael Jordan, and that's how they want to play.
He was drafted by the Bucks in 1969, and right off the bat, his impact on the league was outrageous. He won them the championship in 1971. He was already an established star, and no one thought he would leave. But in 1974, Kareem requested a trade. He wanted to sign for either the Knicks or the Lakers. Although he didn't get his wish right away, he still managed to get there. In 1975, the Lakers traded Elmore Smith, Brian Winters, Dave Myers, and Junior Bridgman for Kareem and Walt Wesley. And boy, was it the start of something special. That's when we got to see the beast that Kareem actually was. That Lakers locker room was full of superstars, and Kareem was probably the biggest, both literally and figuratively. He won 5 championships, and more MVP awards came his way. The Lakers helped him achieve the heights that he was always supposed to achieve.
Goes in low to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem swings left, shoots right. 12-footer, good rhythm, and he got it.
31 points for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
We got to see the greatest scorer in the history of the NBA. That's also when the Lakers became the Showtime Lakers. Kareem's addition played a huge role in LA's dominance in the league and helped establish the Lakers as the powerhouse they are today. Well, not today exactly, if you know what I mean. Anyway, these were just some of the blockbuster trades that changed the NBA forever. I'll see you in the next one.